question is, Elyoy coming down. That flash going to be burned early. The knockup comes through. Shattering strike there as well. Elyoy gets hooked back in. Not again! Dagda! Not again! Down Labrov is going to cover the wall. And Frescowy fails the flash. Adam matches, and with Dominus, no! Labrov!
I think they can't. Yeah, it's good for us. I have a good flank. Just care flank. Get a cannon. Look cannon, join. Can you work on them? Yeah, can go. Go Kalista.
There we go, 4-1 for BDS and a sovereign game versus Mad Lions Koi. We've got Nuke and Shao here. Not Ice yet. I don't know where Hysterics got that. We'd love to talk to him, but
he was really trying to manifest that.
Yeah, he was manifesting it because Ice actually played out of his mind, but so did these two guys right here. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, we were gonna like break down a lot of the game, but to be fair, it looked pretty straightforward. Shao, was that really all there was to it? It seemed pretty simple for you guys to close out the game.
I mean, I think we have a better team comp, and their only gameplay was to dive bot early with Real Kalista, but our bot lane managed to like play 2v3 twice, so they had no game plan, I think, after, and the game was pretty easy.
Yeah, it was. I want to crown immediately the Kia player of the game. Nuke, Labrov was going insane. I mean, the whole bot lane, but he was setting up a lot and also stealing kills.
Yeah, I mean, Labrov beats Trunk, it's known, right? It's his favorite champ. He's really good on it, and like so many clutch hook like on the Corki package. I mean, basically he just hit every hook, so I'm happy to have this support in my team, right? And yeah, I'm really happy.
Yeah, I thought that was a really sick play we also just saw there, where he kind of baits it, the fog of war, while you're into the bush. You just set up a free ultimate here as well. And of course, since he played as well, he can get a kill for himself in the mid lane too. So yeah, he earned that one. Good for him. But I'm also curious, because you guys have gotten early game leads before as well, where it looks super good, but then it gets a bit messy in the mid game. This one didn't, but why do you think it has been a bit messy at times for you guys?
Well, good. Okay. By work, I would say. After like the first week, even though we went 2-1, mid game was a bit iffy, a bit like sometimes strange, and it's something we really put our focus on for this week. Like we really hard work on it, and it looked better, I guess, this week.
Absolutely.
Like for now, there's still one match left, but yeah, just by work we worked on it and it's doing good.
Okay. I'd love to know if there's like different, if you approach things differently, because of course you had the whole last year with everyone and a lot of the coaching staff as well. And so that allows you to look at last year and see, okay, what worked well for us in training? What did not work well, Shao? Do you have some kind of things that you think as a team or for you, you're going to do differently to get better this year? Just to say.
And what is strong for us, I think, like is Adam Champ, me having a strong jungle early game. And then we can just like snowball through lane and through gank that I do. And what we can practice, I think, the most is like mid game. It's like the thing we struggle the most, I think. So we just need to have a strong mid game, and then we are the best, right?
Nice.
Right. It's curious because like analyzing BDS games so far as well, I think when you finally reach that mid game, it's not necessarily that you're making a bad play as a team. It's more like sometimes your tempo gets a bit screwed up because maybe one member gets caught off guard. I know maybe yesterday, Shao, you had a few as well. But how is it you approach these things? Because that's less of a team thing and more an individual thing. Do you have someone who's reeling the boys back and then say, no, you're not going in here, no here? Who's really the voice trying to get the mid game better together?
I mean, I would say lucky everyone. Like from the scrim, we like when we practice, we have like some things like we do everything together, step by step. So in official, like we should respect and do everything together, step by step. But like yesterday, I feel too confident and wanted to flank right, but otherwise I think we're improving.
Okay. Ice is doing really well, and a big talking point for us at the beginning of the year was kind of like, is he going to be able to bring the same amount of shot calling or like conversations in the team that we attributed a lot to Crowny also. But obviously we don't know what happens exactly in the team. So I'd love to know from you guys, maybe Nuke first, as to if you've noticed that a lot and if things are very different.
Well, I like the subject of shot calling and everything. I think is really like, it's really wide, right? I don't think one guy will shot call and make the team coordinate in mid game, for example. Oh, sorry. In mid game, for example, I think we all have the everyone as a player have the knowledge of how the game works and how we can play as a team. And just by like replacing one player by someone who like doesn't speak that much, you know, but still like he give his ID in game and everything. It's really nice to see. I think he's just like a really good player overall. So it's like we don't have any problem in shot calling, and he's just playing the game well. So it's
Yeah,
good.
I see. The system worked as it was,
Yeah.
so even if you take parts out, it can still work. I'd love to know also, respectively for your roles, how you think the crop looks of those players this year. So, Shao, we'll start with you. The junglers this year, of course, most of them are the same, obviously. How do you feel about it, and where do you put yourself?
I mean, there's
You
only
Nothing.
there's only Isma and Douglas new,
That's
I
it,
think.
yeah.
And I think I would like put me like top 3-4, I would say. Like Yike, Razork probably. And like above Jankos, but Jankos is still really strong. And then I think Isma is doing well, but we need to see the whole year, because SK last year was doing well as well in winter, but then
Yeah.
we know what happened. So yeah, I would say top 3-4 for me.
Okay. And Nuke for mid?
Well, it's something that I already said. It was like in my head there is like caps, right? The main time I faced him, he's like the one that put me the most struggle in. But other than that, like especially after last year, where it was like kind of the year where I just rebuilt all my confidence back because it was like doomed. So I took this year for it, and this year is actually just winning, and just like because I already have the confidence and I'm just playing the game, trying to think what can I do for my team and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's still like player like Humanoid, Niski that I respect a lot for what they can do as a players, but I would still say at least top 4,
And second?
if not top 4. And yeah, like, there's a lot of rookie, right?
Yeah.
That came into this year. It's nice to see, because I can feel like I was in there, like I was a rookie one time and I was getting stomped every game. So
Are you saying they're all getting
no,
stopped?
no, I'm just saying me, my experience of being a rookie is getting stomped.
Yeah.
So,
Do you have
yeah.
any advice for the ones that are probably going through some rough times
That are having
right
a
now
bad
then?
start, yeah.
Yeah, you've been through it all. What's the experience?
Good luck, first of all.
Good luck.
It will be hard, but yeah, if you keep going and there's like all the circumstances of chances and everything, you can just get through it and go to Worlds, right?
Yeah, we got to move on to the match.
But yeah.
Unless you have a super interesting point.
No, I was just gonna say, I think like rookie aspect is such an interesting thing
Yeah.
early in the split, especially in the format that we have, because there's two kinds of rookie on the spectrum on my side. You can be Yike when you come into the beginning and look super good, but you can also be Oscarinin, let's be real, that did not look good at all when he joined, but you take a look at Oscar now and he's fantastic. So it's so hard to grasp people out of the first 4 or 5 games when it comes into it, and especially in a best of 1 format like this.
I think that's a good point. You really got to prove yourself super, super quickly, because not every team wants to stay with all their players once it goes a little bit badly, unfortunately. Let's talk about the game that's coming up. It's Rogue versus Fnatic. Fnatic, of course, just yesterday at the hands of these two gentlemen, didn't win. So what did you think about how they played yesterday, how you beat them basically, that they have to improve for today?
I mean, I think yesterday their draft was not really good against our draft, and they didn't like play together, I would say, compared to us. So I think they just need to play more as a team.
I can't remember, did you guys play the Sana Seraphine also, or?
No,
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 you didn't, right?
we didn't.
Blitzcrank again.
Good counter. Let's get Laprov on Blitzcrank. It looks good.
we love it.
Yeah.
But I am curious as well, how often do you feel like some games get lost in draft now? Because I think you take the Team Heretics game as well against SK2,
Oh,
where
this game.
yeah, that looked like the Gragas 5 and
Yeah.
everything. Like, it looks a bit unplayable into the Lecorkian Seraphine. How much do you think that having a bad read on the patch right now loses you the game rather than your in-game performance?
I mean, I think having like a 50-50 read of the patch to like just be even every game is like really simple. And for example, like to take that as an example, the SK against Heretics match, I think that like Heretics just didn't care about Orianna. But if we just pick Orianna with Nocturne into Corki, first this matchup is like unplayable if Orianna is good. And second of all, like there will not be all this healing, shielding stuff if you just get one shot, right? So I think having a read on the meta is like pretty simple, and yeah.
There's also like scrim bubbles, of course, and sometimes we see this often players say afterwards, as we see Fnatic and Rogue taking to the stage, like, oh, we weren't in this scrim bubble this week, so we didn't get this. But then for something like the double support items and the Seraphine, Senna and stuff, I wonder how that gets lost because that's something you know, right? So, or is it really that you are so focused on exactly what happens in your bubble?
No, I think you can know because even in solo queue, people are playing this, and LCK as well, so you can definitely know. But it's just either you don't believe in the thing or you cannot do it.
Yeah.
So you just play your meta, Loki.
Yeah. You don't believe or you don't believe in your own abilities. Yeah, we'll see indeed. We will go into draft here on the desk in just a second for Fnatic versus Rogue. What do you think? Rogue has not been doing that well,
I think
right?
Rogue's a really hard team to track right now in terms of their performance. Like, they obviously look good against G2, but all of the games they've had so far, that game looked like the fluke. And I think one of the main issues they have right now is that I don't think Markoon is incorporated in this team at all whatsoever. I don't really see any camps get skipped coming into a lane gang. I don't really see any of them going together to actually go for any plays. And I think they're just not gelling together right now. And I think that goes to Markoon, but that also goes from linking up with Zoelys. That also goes from solo laners actually having set plays with, oh, we're moving for Grubs now. Let me crash my wave and make a play here. It just feels like this team has not gotten enough experience yet or enough tools to really beat some of the other teams in the league.
Okay. Well, we know it is really difficult. I mean, for a support player, I think, as a rookie also, right? It's French as well. But it's... what is a role that is most difficult, you think, to step into as a team if the team is not functioning?
In jungle.
Jungle?
I think mid.
If your lane is not doing well as jungle, what can you do?
Yeah, it's true. Why do you think it's mid?
Like the question was to step in as a team as a rookie.
Oh yeah, rookie.
Low-key?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's mid because I really think it's mid because first, if you're rookie in jungle and you're actually just if you have a brain, right?
Right.
Your laner will do well because they're not rookie and they're used to like the stage and everything. But if you're mid, you basically have the role of a jungler, and you have to lane against people that are already here for like years, right? So this is why it's mid.
We should ask every single guest we get on and see if they say their own role.
But we're into draft here, so you guys can take it away.
Yeah. Oh, Kirkibun.
Woo!
From blue side, actually.
Oh.
So they don't want to first pick it.
I mean, lots of AD carries getting trimmed out already. Like Varus pick looking fine. Kalista first pick can be a thing too. I'm surprised to see Rogue go for this in Sao ban themselves because I thought that was one of the champions where Markoon could finally find some impact through some early skirmishing as well. But that obviously goes to show that they have other priorities for first pick and they don't really want to give that over to Razork, who's shown a lot of favoritism to that champion too.
This Azir ban, actually I think Rogue wanted just to first pick Azir and trade like Kalista for Varus because like they ban Corki. Usually I would expect Larssen to first pick it, right? And then Fnatic just answer with Azir ban, which is like Corki is good into Azir, so I think they just didn't want to.
I could totally see them go for a Kalista Vi rotation. Noah's been super happy to play the Kalista, Vi super fine into...
but with Poppy open?
Ooh, good question.
Might be tough.
Oh, Orianna Vi, okay.
Okay, so Orianna Vi coming through here as well. Still leaving options available for them. You could do it on 3 and then bend the Poppy in the second ban phase instead.
Okay. So you cannot really blind Poppy to 3 like this.
You can see it's not just Wunder coming from my job. He was ready as well. I'm just here ready to be replaced.
Step it up, go for it.
I know, but it's good motivation, no?
I mean, as a mid laner right now, like basically every OP champ is... Oh, he's dropping into Orianna. That's courageous.
Well, that is very interesting as well. So Heimerdinger, I played one game of him this season.
Yeah.
Still feels fine. Like your turret can really... What? Your turret can proc the Zazas. I know you're laughing, okay? It's still Master Elo. It's not like completely bad.
It's Nuke Elo.
I'm just as good as Nuke. This is perfect. So it's fine, but I think the only thing that's difficult with that one is the double support item. Not that I would see it from Varus anyway, but it's just the fact that your turrets proc the support item and then you can't actually farm and then suddenly your AD carry have support penalty. So that's the only thing I wouldn't recommend for anyone looking to try it. But interesting. I think that's the first Heimerdinger we're seeing this season in the LEC.
Well, now let's see if they will ban mid actually. Yeah, they would ban mid for sure. Like in Torrena, I don't see like basically every good champ in Torrena is banned. Actually maybe Syndra.
Irelia?
I think Larsen's gonna play Irelia into the Orianna. I think so too.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, it can be Syndra, but it's also like Orianna's gonna get the Merc Treatz. And then she's kind of fine into Varus ult into the Heimerdinger as well potentially, but could be an option. I mean, what else do you play? Because Asia's out, Akali's out, you've taken Orianna yourself, Corki's been banned already. Like, that's already some of the most played mid laners that we have. So you're kind of looking for A tier instead of S tier right now.
I actually don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah, it's just going to be the Poppy, and that can kind of line up the Kalista. They already banned the Jhin, so they could just look for a Kalista ban here on 2 instead. Then, I mean, Noah can still play Aphelios. He's been happy to do that too, so I don't think it's going to hurt him too much. It's still going to be a decent champion for him.
Actually, Lucian didn't get Milia's ban. I was talking about Lucian Milia, right? But there's still Lucian Nami, but it was not touched at all in this.
I think I have PTSD from the Lucians I've seen so far.
Okay,
you know,
I mean,
but
yeah.
it looks good in Korea though. Like, it still looks fine for people that plays it. So I don't think the pick is completely dead. It's just not at the strongest side yet.
Oh, what?
Neeko support? Neeko support?
What?
Okay, Neeko into Heimerdinger. I mean, yeah, it's playable.
So that's not a matchup I played.
Yeah.
You said it's playable. You played this matchup?
No, but I just know.
Okay.
I just know.
Intuition
Like,
coming through.
But actually, I think they will go like, Lilia plus AD mid for sure. Because, if they go Lilia plus AP mid, it's rolling. Okay, Lilia Tristana.
It should be Maokai. It has to be Maokai.
Markoon's already played a Maokai game as well.
I actually don't like this. I think picking Tristana into like mage, especially Orianna, if like the Orianna is good, it's like so hard to play.
Yeah, and you've had a lot of experience on the
Yeah,
as well.
when it was meta, it was like fully picked, so... Yeah, okay. I mean, they have a decent comp.
Okay.
You happy?
Yeah.
What do you think about Maokai in this season right now? Because I've seen one game of it with Markoon, Rush, Locket, that like got caught in the early game, and then we didn't really see the huge potential of the gank. You don't really have the same poke of it. Like, what is its key right now in a comp?
You can still play it AP,
Yeah.
but you can go full tank and then you just need, I think, like Azir or a huge DPS mid for Maokai full tank, otherwise it will be weird for draft.
With pleasure.
Who won the draft, guys?
Who won the draft?
I prefer Fnatic draft.
Fnatic.
Why?
Sure.
Vi, Orianna, Gwen into Cassante.
They have
Like-
a very easy C champion, kill champion whenever you lock them down as well.
They have Neeko engaged into like really weak, just Fnatic. They just have a better draft.
Neeko Kalista here can be insane when somebody engages, like maybe she's a ward, maybe she's a minion, just gets a Pokeball all of a sudden, gets thrown into the enemy team, insta ult as well. Like, you just got a CC combo cocktail coming out of that one.
Looks like it could be painful for Rogue. We'll see. Thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining
guys.
us
Thank you.
for the
Thank you very
draft, and we'll head over to our casters.
Thank you very much, guys. Always nice to see the insights of BDS on desk. I have to say, Dagda, a little bit of a curveball with the Heimerdinger down in support. We know that 2v2 is going to be spicy. And thankfully, because a lot of people coming into Rogue Fnatic were like, well, with Rogue being inconsistent, with Rogue being a bit all over the place, apart from the game versus G2, they didn't know what to expect. And of course, Fnatic in the past 2 games have had a little bit of a rough one as well. This is about defining yourself. This is about really finding yourself here in the LEC as we crest over that halfway point with Rogue versus Fnatic. Looking for big wins here today.
I mean, this is definitely going to be a spicy one. For Rogue, look, you've got the Zoelys bringing out the Heimerdinger. They want to try and get that push on the bottom side. You got Larssen who wants to try and get good push in the mid lane with the Tristana. This is a game where Rogue, I want to see them be proactive. It's been my biggest criticism this split, that one game where they were like, oh yeah, we can actually show that we can play an aggressive game with Zoelys working with Markoon. They were getting some good plays in the mid lane, but this needs to be a core factor of the gameplay here, setting up so then you can actually get control of the bot side. And if you can maybe shut down Noah and Jhin, that could be an in into this game. But otherwise, I kind of agree with what the desk was saying. Like, when you have like Humanoid, Razork, this level 6 is going to be so threatening when they get to that stage.
Dagda, what you tell me, but was it you telling me backstage kind of a follow through from last split as well, from last year, where the concerns of Rogue were similar? It's funny, you know, we were also talking about BDS the same, like what were BDS going to look like coming into the start of this year? Feel like for Rogue, again, to follow that suit, I mean, even with a new support, could be a bit of a concern. As Larssen, hang on, speak of concerns, just going to get poked out a little bit. Good for Humanoid, who's going to get 25 on that stack. You all know what I'm talking about. And boom, button time, Dagda. Anything there special? Not really. Just the usual.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're going to have a poke Varus. That was kind of to be expected. And the whole idea here for a lot of what Rogue want to do is we outrange you, Fnatic. You have to play into us. And that's where, you know, Zoelys can get value coming through from the Heimerdinger. You can try and look for Chains of Corruption. Even Markoon can look to try and pick that big beefy front line with the counter engage thanks to that ultimate. So you can kind of see what Rogue are eyeing up here for this. But it is just a case of can Fnatic execute well on that.
I mean, I want to know what happens in 2v2 in execution. Because, by the way, first Neeko support in LEC. Just a bit of a tidbit there, and Jhin the one to bring it out. I mean, it's funny seeing this new bottom lane together, and straight away there's already a bit of spice, so we'll have to see if Jun can match some of the poke that's coming through, as already with the Tangle Barbs out of the way, Zoelys able to step back up and get the turret placement in position. Because boy, oh boy, whoever wins out on this 2v2 feels like they could take over the game, so a very important lane to look at as we continue watching for that level 2 spike.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how Noah plays this as the Kalista, because a huge amount of playing against this is trying to deny the push.
Oh, hang on. Opportunity. Zoelys is ignited down. Wait for the Ren to come through. You're right, Dagda. You call it, you see it, and you better believe it. John helps up first, LEC. Neeko on the bottom side, and first blood given on Fnatic. It's Comp flashed over the Tangle Barbs. Hang on, Comp. Hail of Arrows, Comet. Beautifully done. That's a smooth move out of the AD carry of Rogue.
Good turnaround from Comp, able to get that, and also the fact he's running this TP as well means he'll be able to get some plays, but wrap around behind. Jun doesn't know the Markoon's here.
No, he doesn't indeed. The level 3 Maokai, how easy will it be? Tangle Barb slows it down. There's a flash there, you know, as Comp gets it out of him, but Markoon responds, a twisted advance, and Comp with the kill. Make it a double, and all of a sudden that 2v2 is going Rogue's way.
And I mean, it looked like a disaster with Zoelys going that bit too far forward in the early stages, knowing Jun getting the kill, but happened to flash to commit to the play. Sets up then for Comp to pick up 2 kills with Markoon, having that good opportunity to roam down to the bot lane after clearing out his top side.
You getting deja vu, Dagda? Didn't we just see this last game where, you know, the Varus, well, definitely happened a different way, but the Varus got ahead and stayed ahead. And Comp is going to be absolutely massive as we are seeing double support come out again, Dagda. It ain't the Senna Seraphine, it's the Heimerdinger Varus, but all the same, double support is OP right now.
Yeah, it's very, very strong. And I mean, there's his axe as well. Being able to get that little AoE burst on your poke damage is going to be nice for Comp. It's kind of what we've seen from the poke Varuses a lot of the times as well. But the fact you get the early kills as well means that there's less overlap on when, okay, well, I've got to manage my stacks with the support and I'm taking that hit because you managed to get that a little bit earlier, so support isn't ahead of. But here you can see Zoelys gets wrapped up, definitely way too far forward, waits for the ignite to come off and then heals, so he gets the full value of the heal. So nicely done to kind of hold on to that. But Noah and Jun have way too overextending. Comp, great flash on the Tangle Barbs there as well,
good.
to make sure he's able to follow up on Noah. The Arcane Comet doing work.
Yeah, how satisfying is it?
But yeah, and then Jun sticking around too long. At this stage, it's like, look, I'm the support, the wave's pushing in. I don't need to be here. It was kind of just greeting for a bit of the extra CS and gold, but Razork trying to respond now.
Good Tangle Barbs coming through. There's a lot of poke damage. And hey, one back. It does go to Razork, but at least Fnatic getting something back in the bottom side.
Yeah, and desperately needed as well. Like, you want to try and keep control of this lane and stop Comp and Zoelys from being able to snowball, but without any summoner spells in this bot lane, you are very much in danger if you try to overextend his Comp and Zoelys, and Razork does a good job of getting into that bottom side and punishing.
And even though there's been so much focus on Void Grubs in this season and, you know, us moving to second part of 14.1, I think we kind of got to remember Dragons still behold all, Dagda. Dragons are still so important to the pace of the game. Speaking of pace, Larssen is just going to give us a bit of his own as Humanoid gets poked out for half in the classic Tristana trade. But that Dragon does go down. It is a cost of the Void Grub, but we are talking about, you know, 3 Void Grubs when in the grand scheme of things, Dagda, we know that 5 or 6 kind of makes a bit more of the game with the Void Mites to come out.
Yeah, I think you're kind of happy as Fnatic that you managed to get that Dragon as well, because realistically, Comp and Zoelys should have a good amount of control on this bottom side. It's got a bit messy for Rogue's bot lane. But also Larssen has a lot of push in mid lane, so by all points in case, they should be Rogue's Dragons that they're getting to stack up. So stealing one away is going to make things a little bit easier for Fnatic as this game goes on, where you can give over 1 or 2 and try and focus on, hey, we can play topside around Oscarinin and getting him ahead against Szygenda and having that pressure point to the map. We can use Humanoid as well to try and get up there, and just the power of that level 6 spike with the ultimates is absolutely absurd.
Oh, it really is. And again, we'll be looking towards the next Dragon, maybe the Herald that spawns up as well, or even the next Void Mites, depending on how early. But I just want to point out that, you know, while we did see Comp get those first 2 kills, there's no essence of power there yet, Dagda. So that is a plus for Fnatic's bottom lane, where we have Serrated Dirk, we have a longsword, we actually have stats for Noah to play with. And Comp right now is just trying to scale up, trying to stack himself as well, as we see Markoon coming down to give a bit of essence back into Comp as well.
I like this Serrated Dirk stop off for Noah. I'm actually curious as well if he's going to be going Q max, or well, Q early stages here as Larssen.
Bait it.
Yeah. But I think you can clear out the backline minions very easily and start to alleviate some of that pressure that Comp and Zoelys have as they try and push in that bottom lane, because you can nearly one-shot the caster minions if you've got Serrated Dirk plus a Q max build on Kalista.
Oh yeah.
But Zoelys just walking up, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of the idea here for Noah with the build path that he's gone. And if you can keep that push in control, it makes things 10 times easier. With Jun can fish for some of these tangle barbs, you can set up with Razork now, and especially with level 6, just about to be hit on the next camp here for Razork. You can see it just picked up there. This is where Razork can get way more aggressive now on trying to set up the map for Fnatic.
As you said, hits it now. A little bit up on CS because you got that kill as well, or should I say up on experience more importantly. Markoon on the other side of the map doing his top side clear right now. So opportunity does strike, and Dagda. Zoelys without level 6 as well is another bit of extra to add in there that Rogue could stop the dive with. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with Razork holding control of the river for now. Well, Szygenda just gets that push in topside and controls topside river in hindsight.
Yeah, it's hard for him to try and make a play on bot side because, as you can see, Larssen had just slow pushed that wave into mid lane. So it means that you can't really guarantee that he's not going to lean down onto that bottom side. So they will just wait until Humanoid gets a little bit more control. And now that they see Larssen in the mid wave again, this is where Razork's like, okay, we can go for this. Markoon, it should be on that top side.
Humanoid making the move down. I mean, you got to think as Rogue, something's coming our way. So Ellie's still without the big turret put down, but look how thin the wave is. This dive's going to be quick, but it flucks away. Comp again doesn't want to get hit by Tangle Bobs, but pops his own ulti out. The Fate's call away is beautiful. Noah saves the day. So Ellie's might be alive, but Comp is not without his flash. And it's a big kill over to the board. Markoon's trying to come in time, but will Zoelys even be alive? Look at that poke coming through. Jun can't get the range, though he's still alive somehow. How is he alive? Stun grenade out. Okay, Noah finally takes him down. Markoon comes in late, but he still gets rooted up. There's the Tangle Barbs out. I mean, Markoon, not sure it was the play in the end as Humanoid, his auto doesn't go through. He survives, if only just, as Comp comes back on in. Now ready to rev it up once more. Hail of arrows through as well. Humanoid also going to get stunned up by Larssen as he comes in second.
Oh, no.
Tristana has flash, so somebody's dying here. We just got to find out who was... You knew it was going to be Humanoid in the end, and he's about to go on down. Larssen with a big kill, but Dagda, a bit of a mess down at the bottom side, as you have to say, at least Fnatic made it mess for them.
Yeah, it was definitely in favor of Fnatic. They came out looking slightly cleaner, but still a little bit mucky after that one. Just an overextension. You've already got the play. They wait too long to try and finish off Zoelys. They're not really crashing that wave as quickly as they'd like, and then trying to get a bit further onto Markoon was just too much. So initially you can see it's a little bit of a mess here. Comp flashes the Tangle Bars again, which is huge. So it means that you don't get that initial burst to immediately kill Comp. And then Zoelys again, good flash away, means that he's able to survive, so the shockwave doesn't finish him off. And here, they're trying to finish out the wave so quickly, but they kind of run ahead of themselves a little bit, trying to pick off Zoelys before the wave comes in. I think if they were patient, they could have finished that off a little bit sooner.
Yep. And
then here, just call it a day. You're like, look, Markoon has to back away. We're all super low. And we've invested so much time into this bottom side. Larssen's already crashed the wave in mid. He's taken plates, and now he gets the opportunity to roam down as well. And Comp is coming back into lane. Like, Fnatic just completely overstayed their welcome in this bot side, and they came back to bite them.
And I have to add, Dagda, I don't know if you saw, Humanoid flashed the wall to get there quicker. So on top of dying here, giving a kill over to Larssen, he's actually lost his summoner spell. An Orianna without flash versus a Maokai Tristana. Bit of a danger zone, and I'm not talking about Top Gun Tom Cruise, right? This is a kill on Tristana, who's now gone to a Noon Quiver. So there is a bit of access to damage there. We'll have to see if that hurts him in any way. As the lane, of course, going Larssen's way, but things in the bottom side could never be more even. I have not seen a white-colored gold lead for quite a while, as it only just crests over to Noah.
Yeah, I mean, it's very even, but with the items that you have bought, I'm giving the advantage to Noah, right? You kind of get a lot of more aggressive spells. You didn't have to stop off for a tier or even a support item as well. So that gold has been very much spent on damaging abilities here for Noah. So our damage capabilities, I should say. So I think that's where, even with the Black Cleaver now completed for Razork, they want to get aggressive, and Zoelys is
out no man's land, isn't he? That's so easy. Noah with his third kill. Kalista getting fed as Comp is stuck in the middle with you as well. A double kill over to Noah. Let there be light, Dagda.
I don't think there's light at the end of the tunnel for this for Rogue, though. I mean, Fnatic have done a really good job now of playing around this bot lane advantage, and now going to get a second dragon for themselves. And Markoon, he's tried to help out in this bot lane, may get a bit of a helping hand here again.
Big committal, isn't it? Nature's Grasp is out. It only hits fake Jun as a teleport from Fnatic. The cover could turn deadly, but Larssen coming through just needs a kill. Will find the reset. He flashes away. Rocket jump out. Humanoid has made himself in as well. Onto Markoon. The shockwave was used earlier. So Rogue will get themselves out, and Larssen yet with another kill.
I mean, look, you don't quite manage to get Larssen off the back of it. I didn't quite see if the shockwave ended up hitting from Humanoid or not, or if it was just buffered by Larssen, but still, getting some control back in the bot side at least is nice. And you can even see you got Comp who moved into mid lane to cover the wave, so not the end of the world for Rogue to get something back, but it's still a dragon to Fnatic. They got the initial kill as well, so it's still Fnatic looking pretty happy with the way this game's going.
I mean, absolutely. Razork going to topside too. Dagda, if he gets Dragon and he denies 6 Void Grubs for the team that has the Tristana, I think it's worth noting that Fnatic will not only be in control, but put themselves in with a good fighting chance in this game, especially since Noah, with 4 kills, has now picked up Blade of the Ruined King. Oscarinin in the top side has Riftmaker, and he just picked up his second play. Looking towards 3, he doesn't care. Gwen is immune. She'll walk up to the turret yet again in a couple of seconds. Szygenda just has to watch, as the Cassante can't really do too much while this is going on.
But this is it, right? You've kind of lost control now of side lanes for Rogue. Szygenda can't go against Oscarinin. If you're in a 1v1, Noah can just chase down Comp at this stage. He has the cleanse available if you ever end up in a 1v1. So I think you're in a pretty precarious spot here as Rogue, as your options to fight back are kind of starting to limit themselves. And even look at Jun, hiding as the Gwen. He's in the enemy jungle. They want to try and dive top. Larssen takes damage, but Humanoid, he's just trying to poke him down so they can't look for a play on bot lane.
And it's because Larssen doesn't have flash. I mean, again, burnt in the last play. Humanoid doing exactly that for the time being. Zoelys just trying to roam himself and get an angle on this, as Markoon's also walking down, but again, good vision from Fnatic is spotting this move in progress.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Fnatic are trying to achieve though, because it looks like Razork is now moving into the top side. They still want to go for the dive, but they have Jun coming down here to cover, but he may not be quick enough. Makes
a flash here, right? Maybe Fnatic have abandoned Humanoid, but it's fake Jun coming through, or should I say fake Oscarinin. While the topside dive is going to start on a Szygenda is level 11, pops the all out, but that means he's a little bit squishier. But again, diving Cassante's hardest. Razork manages to survive through it. And the kill goes to Noah again. Just keep giving him more money.
Yeah, I mean, just about Fnatic were able to pull that one off. Did look a little dicey, but the fact that Humanoid ulted Larssen, cleared the wave, denied Rogue the opportunity to play off the first wave state, then plays very far back off the second wave state as Jun's able to come in as well. And Fnatic still have enough muscle power on that top side, with Noah being as strong as he is, to finish off that kill, get the tower as well. So Fnatic doing a great job of covering themselves in the map.
I mean, Dagda, you like seeing this. You talk about it with Caitlyn's, with Kalistas as well. I know you like seeing transitioning power across the points of the map. You know, after you look through bot, okay, how does the play go? Move that power to top side. They open up first turret blood through top as well. And with a 3k gold lead now with Herald in their sights as well, Fnatic are going to track that play across the map as Oscarinin won't be dove. Let's try English again, Dagda. It's getting a little bit hard here as Larssen and Markoon are going to make it a 1v2. There is no ulti here for Oscarinin. Under the turret, though, Larssen not taking damage. It's Markoon who tanks it up. Nicely done, as Rogue are going to trade this Herald for the kill, for the turret, to try and get themselves back within gold's reach.
Yeah, I definitely think you could have given this as Oscarinin. That was always going to be a disaster of play. Especially once Larssen gets in, is able to ult you out from underneath the tower. Markoon can tank up so effectively, and you don't have the ultimate yourself as Oscarinin to try and clear out the wave. So you can kind of give this and say, hey, look, I'm going to actually use the tempo advantage of you investing time killing this tower to move elsewhere on the map. Maybe try and cover like top side at the moment where Cassante's pushing in, and that opens up Fnatic to make a couple more plays. But unfortunately, he ends up giving his life. They still get the kill, and Fnatic don't have the manpower that they want on the map to try and push out. So Rogue now get pushing mid, should be able to establish vision in this river side for Dragon as well, although Zoelys a little bit short on control wards or even any wards at the moment, so he's going to have to go back to base before they go first.
Because you can't give them third Dragon. I mean, that setup tactic that you noted, so important considering when you have a Gwen on your team, when you have a Kalista as well, that Ocean Salt is going to be massive, and I think for Fnatic, having 3 dragons in their back pocket is obviously going to be so easy to achieve and bring the sway and forth between that Baron when it spawns. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after this, you're wondering, hey, how can today get any better? I'll tell you. G2 versus G3. Sorry, Team Heretics coming up next. I've only been here for 2 weeks, Dagda. Let's hope there's another one. But this is going to be an epic game. I mean, seeing Perks versus Caps, a personal favorite of mine as an international viewer. For sure.
I mean, so much history between these two teams, and honestly, I'm so excited to see how they're both going to face off against each other. But we'll have to see. First off, what happens in this one is Fnatic getting control over this mid lane. You can see Razork moving up towards this top side. They might try and catch Szygenda before it makes it back to the base, as the rest of Fnatic are just facing in onto this tower.
Ooh, Shockwave comes through, though. Humanoid does a bit of damage to Zoelys as the help from the Void Grubs that gives Noah the push through mid, and look at top. A bit of drifting, and another turret goes down. Right now, Fnatic playing the macro game. They say, take the dragon, whatever. let's make a massive trade. And again, Razork's like, get me in, boys. Nice ride. Szygenda pulls them away. But Fnatic have done the damage in this top side. They're still up 3,500 gold, Dagda. They don't care about the dragon at this point.
No, they're completely fine. And this is what we're talking about. The fact that Fnatic managed to sneak away the first dragon off the back of having that quick pick onto Zoelys. And then even when you look towards the second one as well going their way, they're now in a position where it's like, right, you have to stack so incredibly much to try this to actually be an issue. So we're just going to go look for your top tier 2. They get the mid lane turret as well because Rogue have invested both Larssen and Markoon towards that dragon area. And now you kind of get to rinse and repeat. You just shift your attention to this bottom side where Jun covering Humanoid to make sure you can push out the wave. But Rogue, no Fnatic are moving down into this area. And that's why they're looking for a pick.
Ooh.
Humanoid needs to be so careful.
I wonder if that turret was activated, because that would give a bit of an inkling that the Heimerdinger is still within close proximity. And I believe it was in the end. Humanoid, the shockwave's down to Zoelys once again. Zoelys pops out, the stun grenade doesn't land. Razork threatens with the ultimate, but knowing Markoon, Larssen nearby, he doesn't pull the trigger. And Dagda, seeing a bit of reservation from Fnatic, ain't too bad after yesterday, as they're still trying to pull the plate. Am I speaking too soon?
Yeah, they just don't know exactly what's up, and we won't know exactly what's up.
It's a mystery. Everybody pause. Let's wait and see. Okay. Oh, hang on, don't worry, we're back. Did anything happen? The answer is no.
No, I think they're just going to try and back away here, but I like the idea, right? Humanoid's like, maybe if I can catch Zoelys here, burn a summoner spell, make things a little bit easier for ourselves, but they don't want to overcommit. They don't know where Rogue are in the without the vision established on this bottom side, so take it slow, get that set up now. They'll spot Larssen, but they're going to be totally fine to just keep pressure here so they can get this bottom tower.
And again, Dagda, before, as the ward timing comes through, it's really good reservation from Fnatic as comp now towards this top side. All out's going to be used, but Oscarinin taking the advantage of 2 people while bottom turret goes down. 4 members still hovering here. There's the flash from Shao and a blossom down. Fnatic pull the trigger. The shockwave comes through as well. Razork tanks up and up as Noah takes a second shot, still survives. This version of Fnatic looking good as comp tries to poke out onto Humanoid with the hail of arrows. Won't be enough. This is the version we wanted to see as they blast this game even further wide open.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. So as Rogue go for the play on top side, Szygenda doesn't quite get Oscarinin over the wall, so they can't finish him off with Comp. And it means that Comp is then late for the play on bot lane. And the second they spot both Comp and Szygenda on that top side, Fnatic know they've just got a massive numbers advantage on the bottom lane, so they're free to go for it. Managed to get away with this on both top and bottom, and now it's just this map getting darker and darker for Rogue.
Yeah. And look, that next dragon in 2 minutes. Baron's up in 10 though, I think more importantly.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Noah's items as well. He's going to be so strong. The amount of gold that he has is just absurd.
Oh, yeah.
And well on his way towards, I think, is the Terminus is that build path as well. So he's going to be like, it's going to be so difficult to try and kill him as well as he starts to stack that up, because you get both the armor and the magic resist, plus the pen on every opposite one.
I think Zoelys is just dead here. He's caught. Dropping some wards down. He's got no flash, no heal available. Okay, support without summoners. You're in front of the Baron. Threaten or pretend. Either one. It seems easy for Fnatic to pull off.
Yeah, I think at the moment, though, Fnatic just needs to take it slow. Razork as he backs away. I want to see Oscarinin go back onto the spot wave, though. He's finishing off the blue, and it's given Rogue a little bit more time to keep the push in and actually get themselves in a position where they can get the waves out, get some vision established for themselves, because they're not really worried about a threat onto the tier 2. Even Razork now, kind of in no man's land as Rogue are on the hunt.
I mean, again, looking for whatever they can find. It's like scraps. You know, you're hungry, you missed out on dinner. Where else in the fridge are you going to find food at this point? But Dagda, nothing's found. The fridge is empty. It's a minute till Dragon, and maybe something will pop up then. It would be Fnatic's third. It would be a second one for Rogue to deny from this composition. But again, when you're a comp that this far ahead, you can play the macro game again, like Fnatic have been doing so far. You can threaten, leverage the Baron. Okay, you want another dragon, that's fine. We can always trade this off when we have a Kalista, an Orianna with Crypt Bloom. Not to add an O after that letter as well, as I feel like we've been doing. Remember, when you get that takedown and you get that damage, you summon the Nova and you get healing. So a bit of a supporter item from Humanoid as well. Something that's going to give health to Noah.
Which I think is really interesting, because as you say, yeah, Noah is so strong. It's like, hey, as long as I can keep this guy up and running, we're going to be in a great spot for team fights. Same when you look towards Oscarinin, like 0-1-0, yeah. But, I mean, working up towards the 3 items, that Void Slap going to be coming through for Oscarinin very quickly as well. And they, with the Terminus now completed for Noah, Fnatic, are very well aware which side their bread is buttered on, and they're just going to try and keep it going. Dragon now up, but you can look at where Fnatic are positioned. They're like, we don't really care. We can have Oscarinin finish that off himself if we really want to. We just need to keep pressure on Baron.
We're going to watch this play out. Oscarinin again going for the all-in, but the ulti hasn't been popped yet. The Szygenda, there's one. Need to work number 2. The flip back, 3rd misses. That's the majority of the damage, but I mean, Razork's coming in. And Oscarinin can't really die with 2.5 items and with so much life
get out.
or Omnivamp. He can't Dagda. You know why? Because Cassante does not yield. And this time it hurts him.
But this is why. Look at the Baron.
Oh, you're right.
Fnatic have all gone south, and the rest of Rogue are going to turn on the Baron. You cannot invest this many members to the bottom side. It'll be Dragon, 3rd Dragon for Fnatic, but you've just gifted Baron.
I mean, there's no warding on it, and now you're going to find out. You're like, oh, hang on a minute. It's double TP, though. So while Baron was a very smart move from Rogue to bring this game back in, they've got to get out. Oscarinen's flying in. He finds Markoon. Backs on the top side. Humanoid won't find it. 2 members away.
He gets out.
Make that 3. Okay. Rogue are secret agents, I'm convinced, who've now just pulled out the Baron out of nowhere.
I don't understand it. Well, there was no need to commit that many members. Like, you had the win there for Oscarinin. You get Szygenda push back, you go and solo out Dragon, and then you let the rest of Fnatic keep presence up towards that Baron area. And if Rogue ever try and move like Markoon down or anyone else down to do the Dragon, you just take Baron. You do exactly what Rogue did to you. But Fnatic overcommit to the bottom side, and Rogue suddenly have a lifeline in this game.
And I mean, Larssen also as a Tristana, almost level 16, worth noting, but almost 3 items too. Baron in a side lane for Larssen is a very big strat that could pull Rogue back in within reach of this gold lead. They're still 7,000 down. They are still facing Soul Point. But this Baron play, Dagda, I think could make or break the game as Rogue try and find themselves a fight or an avenue while Larssen is bot side with teleport should he need to join.
Yeah, I think you've still got issues here for Rogue where it's like, okay, we've slowed down the... Oh, wait, they're going for the TP.
They are indeed. There's a Raptor on the loose, meanwhile, though, from Jun. But Larssen in position now. Humanoid is in no man's land. The Shockwave might have to be burned, but no, holds onto it instead. Larssen can't find the commitment. But Dagda just burned the TP for that.
Yeah, I mean, could have been a nice play if you'd actually managed to get on towards Humanoid, but kind of just guessed wrong. Thought Humanoid had continued to run up the lane, was hoping to cut him off, but doesn't actually spot that he's in that the picks-up rush in River. So not going to be anything picked up for Rogue, but waves are being pushed out. You're getting items onto as far as who, surprisingly, in that 25 minutes and early into the game, still hasn't completed his Muramana, so definitely a little bit behind in the grand scheme of things, but
yeah.
We'll end up getting things like Sharilda's now picked up. You can look towards mid lane as well and see the LDR starting to come through, so you're going to start getting items onto these AD carries, which is definitely something that has been lacking in the grand scheme of things. And for Noah, he's kind of hit critical mass. Like, over the course of this little while, he's going to start to fall off, especially with things like the the Frozen Heart picked up for Markoon as well. If you're ever in range of that, Noah just becomes so much less threatening.
Yeah, I mean, this Kalista who's been fed everything through this game. Noah's been a real carry source, been picking up the kills, but Dagda, we know in the LEC, we know, I'm trying to think worldwide, I mean, Kalista hasn't been the definite, right? We've seen a lot of scaling comps, we've seen double support comps that have really transitioned, showing us that late game is still key. You are pointing at a 1-5 record.
Yeah. Hasn't been the best of times for Kalista in the LEC. Just
No, it is not. But hey, I mean, maybe that turns around, who knows? Surely still with Noah's strength. And we know Kalista 3 and a bit items. Terminus, as you mentioned before, has been picked up, well and truly completed. This Fnatic now going deep in enemy jungle, and Dagda, even though Baron delays the game, I really need to know, is it enough? Because, I mean, Dragon in 2 minutes, Baron has now expired. Noah says, hey, I'm still not scared of you. And Fnatic don't seem to be scared at all. The Baron just simply delayed maybe the inevitable.
Yeah, I think it's still a case of, hey, look, Fnatic should be able to get control over the side lanes. Oscarinin is still stronger than Szygenda. As long as you can help, as Razork basically lean between mid and top to help out Humanoid as he pushes out, you will still be fine. But it's like, say for Larssen now, who's going to be able to reset off of after catching this wave, he should have his Lord Dominic's picked up, which means that suddenly Razork is significantly less threatening when he goes in. You've actually got the opportunity to try bursting out people like Humanoid as well.
Yep.
And you kind of need these more extended fights here for Fnatic, but the poke and the burst is going to start picking up on Rogue. I still think it is Fnatic favored. Like, you can see it's still nearly a 10,000 gold or 9,000 gold lead, but it's just like, okay, you've kind of given them an opportunity to, if they find a pick, have a lot more damage that they can then return to the form.
So it's the maybe. It's the, well, it's a hard task.
It's
but
a silver lining, you know?
Okay, all right. I like the optimism. Again, I asked for you last game. You didn't give me too much with Mad. Now with Rogue here in this position, you got to remember, you know, they don't want to be in a 1-4 position. We already talked about it. In a single round robin, 4 is where things get a little bit dicey. Speaking of which, hey, comp's been picked off. Razork and Humanoid back to their old ways. They just say go, and together they go.
I take it back. It's fully cloudy. There is no silver.
No.
There is nothing. Oh, no.
It's a terrible day for rain. Zoelys has been caught out on a ward, and Razork is taking on 2 members. And you can see Markoon has no damage. Razork does not care, while mid is being broken over and bot is being broken over. The game is ending. Fnatic, you thought they were delayed. They make 1 pickup, and the base is melting. It's like the meme sitting inside going, this is fine. It's not. Larssen's trying to make a play on the top side, but double inhibitor down. How far can he take it, Dagda, is the only question left remaining.
I mean, everyone in Fnatic is trying to get back here to keep him off, but as I say, he's going to do a heck of a lot of damage. He's going to burst this down. Fnatic are like, screw this, we're just going to give you the inhibitor turret as we try and make sure that we get soul for ourselves, but inhibitors broken bot and mid and now soul for Fnatic. Even with that top lane turret going down, it doesn't really matter. I mean, we went from silver linings to Rogue to Cloudy with a chance of meatballs as Rogue's just been butchered on the last play.
Absolutely. Surprise, I'm not hungry. We just had a huge meal, but speaking of which, Fnatic about to make a meal of Rogue. All right. Baron's up in 20 seconds. You have Ocean Soul, an opening topside for only the inhibitor, not a pressure point, Dagda. I think that's a bigger thing as well. As Rogue are at least somewhere near River first, but you can see Fnatic are coming out on the map. Baron is coming back. And Rogue just have to walk on out of this. Or throw the Hail Mary up, but no one is in position.
But look at mid lane. Mid lane's already been pushed in, so immediately Razork's trying to step up. He's like, look, you're showing 2 on mid. Let's just take that vision, force Rogue back. And so Zoelys is trying to kind of make them work for it as Noah. That was a bit, maybe a bit too far of a jump for it, but doesn't get punished for it.
It doesn't carry as Jack Show now, Dagda. This guy is ready to go into the front lines with no care, no doubts, no worries as Rogue defend their last turret on the top side. That's Szygenda up against Oscarinin, but Dagda already told you this is not a 1v1 he can take. They need the whole team, and they're going to bring it. Rogue with 3 now, but 5 on the way. The needlework healing, a bit insane, but he doesn't find the final fight. As Comp gets 1,000 gold, that might delay things a bit. That's a lot of gold going over to the Varus.
Yeah, Oscarinin kind of doing his best to give Rogue another lifeline back into this. As Rogue I mean, Fnatic have to give up control of Baron. Do Rogue just get another Baron off the back of that? Like, bot wave is pretty far away. If they can find members of Fnatic, like, Fnatic just need to delay. They want to try and make the super minions do work for them, but Rogue, they know they've got the advantage. You have 30 seconds. TP up before that.
What? Larssen does it so quick as well. If Rogue get this Baron, you have to be kidding me. Noah ready to run in, look for the steal in the back end. I mean, the Baron's taken, objective bounty. Razork with the 1-man ulti, but he's isolated for the time being. Humanoid trying to run on in as Rogue get dominated by Noah. Again, this Kalista doing damage as Rogue might have the Baron, but this time they're gonna die. Zoelys and Comp running into a trap. Humanoid's there waiting. Jun on the other wing. And Rogue running for their last limbs. Dagda, it was a bit dicey. It was a bit back and forth, but Fnatic will not lose another. They believe they should be near the top, and damn near the top after this they will be, as the last line of defense from Szygenda means nothing to Oscarinin. Even with that all out, Gwen goes snip, and Fnatic back where they should be. 3-2, Dagda. A mighty fine spot to bridge up the gap.
Fnatic managing to pick it up. It wasn't clean. I mean, maybe I dream of an LEC where we can play a mid-game, but I think there's definitely a lot to work on. But still, you get the win. You got it across the line. And it definitely with 3-2 now on the scoreboard, putting themselves still like, you still have to wait for like G2 and SK and Heretics playing after this, but it's still a good spot to be. Your players of the game for this one, vote now on at LEC on X, Razork, Noah, or Jun for you to decide.
I ain't gonna give you my bias here today, ladies and gentlemen, but seeing the first Neeko support was exciting. But Noah cleaning up bot side on the Kalista Dagda. You gotta highlight that at least Fnatic's bottom lane there, showing a lot of fun in the 2v2. And Fnatic getting a win here was huge as well. But ladies and gentlemen, up next, you know what it is. It's our match of the week. It's G2 Esports versus Team Heretics. Have that break, then come back. Let's enjoy this one together.